All right, we're going to move on to item 6.7 or 9:30 a.m. Public hearing, consideration of community development block grant funding for the Business Assistance Loan Program and the Employment Training Build Program. We have Ben Rickelman and Mr. Lucas. Good morning.
Good morning, Board. Ben Rickelman, Deputy County Administrative Officer with the CDBG Economic Development Program administered by the State Department of Housing and Community Development. We're required to come to the Board twice, so we came on the 8th of October, and this is the second time. So this is for, it would be $1.5 million for the Economic Development Program over the counter. So the low interest loan program for small and micro enterprises in Lake County, an energy system program we would be supplementing and supporting. This is with North Edge Financial, community development financial institution that some businesses work in Lake County. They did get the money from the Department of Energy, so that's good news. That happened in the last few weeks, and so that program's under development, and then a facade improvement program. Additionally, it was discussed at the last hearing for the competitive public service portion to apply for $300,000 for the BUILD program, which is a nonprofit here in Lake County that is both a workforce development program and then concentrates on construction and rehabilitation of single-family residences. Additionally, there was a request from the board to go after the total available amount with the over-the-counter award, so there could be another $1.5 million with CDBG projects. So I reached out to all the departments. Special districts did get back. They have some water tanks in North Lakeport that might be a good project. It's around $1.8 million. There is a timing issue though with it. So there's a bunch of work that has to go with the CDBG application. So, and we had already had the resolution with the initial programs with the first one and this resolution. So CDS is going to work with them to get the project ready for CDBG submittal for the spring notice of funding availability. So we would go ahead with this submission with the 1.5 million economic development programs and then the 300,000 for the BUILD program. There was one other issue that popped up. So with the Cobb Water project, with it being a CDBG project, HCD sent some auditors here, and so that was the week before, and they it kind of coincided with the due date for the, or not the due date, when the over-the-counter window opens. So CDS communicated several times with HCD to try to change that. HCD was unwilling to do that, so the auditors came that time. So that is why we are now doing this on the 5th. HCD did send a notice saying the OTC window was closed, but CDS talked with HCD and explained the situation with the auditors, and so HCD said we should still apply, and they will take into consideration how their inflexibility with the audit timing impacted the county's submittal. Did I cover everything, Jeff?
Yeah, thanks, Ben. It's been a little hectic. We also wanted to make sure that the board knew that we will be following up with Ben's interaction with the departments and searching out other projects, public facility improvements and those kinds of things with these funds for the next go-round and prepare for the next go-round. I think we're in a public hearing, are we not, Chair?
Yes, we opened up the public hearing.
Okay. And I think we do have a guest from the Lower Lake Water District who called our office a couple weeks ago, and I invited her to make a public comment during the public hearing period in regards to a project related to the water district. So not only do we're kind of trying to broaden out and get information from other sources so that next time that we can pursue funds for infrastructure for low-mod households, that'll benefit low-mod households.
Okay. I do need to check in with County Council for the process for the public hearing. The public hearing's been opened. Is there anything else I need to do other than open up for public comment?
That is all.
Okay, just wanted to check in and double check. Before I do so, any other comments? And sorry to ask, can you please introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Jeff Lucas with Community Development Services. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further comments before I bring it back to the board? All right. Supervisor Green.
Just a quick question. I know I'm not going to like the answer, but the 1.5 million for economic development for for-profit businesses. So many nonprofits in our Lake County are struggling, and so I'm going to guess this particular bucket of money is designed to support programs or projects that create or retain jobs. But it's curious to me that we would limit that to for-profit businesses when not only do our nonprofit agencies create and retain jobs, they also create economic multipliers. They fill service niches that our for-profits can't or won't do. And so I may just be barking at the moon, however briefly, but are we imposing a strict understanding that only for-profit businesses can create the type of economic benefits that CDBG funding would be appropriate for? Or is that something hard and fast that HCD applies on these NOFAs and there's just no getting around it? It's statute. Okay. So I'm just barking at HCD. Is there some equivalent funding stream elsewhere in CDBG Landia that would eventually give some glimmer of hope that we could offer assistance to nonprofit organizations?
Let me answer the first question just briefly. So in the economic development component of community development block grant funds, federal regulations require that the funding be used for-profit businesses to create the jobs. And so the answer is we cannot use these funds for that purpose to provide. And we've asked that. We've tried to work that a little bit. And the answer has been no. The other way to maybe look at it is through the BUILD program, for example, NCO would be the operator as they are now on behalf of the county. And so those funds would be provided to NCO. Now it would primarily pass through the county, and the county would provide those funds for those folks to do that work that they're doing now. So it is a way to provide some funds for nonprofits. There are other services and programs available through the Community Development Block Grant Program, but they're not designed specifically to create jobs through the nonprofit systems. And it may be worthwhile for the board and for staff we could have a workshop, perhaps have some representatives from HCD come and talk a little bit more about what can and can't be done with the program to maybe get us to take a broader look at what we might want to do with the funds in the future. That's something we could arrange, but the answer is no. I'm sorry. Not our rule. Theirs.
Any other comments or questions? So I appreciate the update. That was kind of a surprise. I don't know when that happened at the 11th hour, but I'm glad to hear that we have the option of still submitting and that the window may have reopened for us. I appreciate the effort. I saw the emails to try and solicit for further projects. I thought it was $2.1 million, but maybe it was $1.6 million. Either way, there was money that was still available that was more on the competitive side of things for infrastructure. And I believe that there may be another NOFA opening up again in spring. Am I correct on that?
That's what we anticipate.
Okay, even with the current status with the California budget, that's still anticipated?
We'll have to see, but as now, that's what HCD is telling us.
Okay. So I look forward to seeing how we can capture all of those funds in the springtime, and we'll see if we can get some shovel-ready projects that meet the guidelines of CDBG and are prepared for that.
Just, these are federal funds that pass through the state to us, and so it's federal funds, and while the state's
Gotcha.
got their issues, it's a different funding source.
Yeah, they have a printing machine. California does not. All right. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate what's here. Again, really appreciate the fact that conversations were had in order to break through that wall that was created earlier this week so that we have a chance of getting those funds and moving forward. If there's nothing further from the board, let's go ahead and open up with public comment, and I believe we'll start with our Lower Lake Water District. Please.
So my name is Summer. I'm here on behalf of Lower Lake County Water District Number 1. I've been working really hard to try to get funding for our district. We are obviously, a public water agency. We need to figure out how we could get funds besides our ratepayers, because with everyone struggling and, we're trying to minimize our ratepayers' bills going up. So I've been working really hard to try to get grant funds, figure out what projects the state or federal will approve. CBDG grant funding came across my radar. I asked some questions. I found Mr. Lucas's phone number, called him. Unfortunately, we missed the deadline for this one. I have a letter that I actually wrote for District 1 Supervisor. I didn't get a chance to get it to you, but if you don't mind, I'll just read it and I could leave a copy for you.
Please.
Okay. So my name is Summer Fiora. I'm writing on behalf of Lower Lake County Water District Number 1. LLCWD. I'm writing to bring to your attention a crucial infrastructure upgrade project proposed by LLCWD to be included in the Lake County's Community Development Block Grant application in 2025. I believe this project will significantly enhance our local water management, safety, and operational efficiency. LLCWD is seeking to modernize our district's water distribution metering system. The current infrastructure is outdated and pushing near the end of its lifespan, around 20 years, which then begins to lead to inaccurate readings and water loss that is difficult to track. Leveraging updated technologies will improve accuracy and efficiency in water usage monitoring, as well as ensure safety of water operators. Key components of the proposed project include advanced metering infrastructure, AMI, with automated data collection. This upgrade will allow for better monitoring and management of water distribution, reducing leakage and minimizing water loss, which contributes to our overall goal of water conservation, as well as will keep our ratepayers aware of their usage and signal instant leak detection and notification. By transitioning to an automated system, manual meter reading, which is prone to errors and is labor-intensive, will be largely eliminated. This improves the safety of water operators and reduces costs and carbon emissions. The new system will include remote shutoff capabilities in case of emergencies or unauthorized use, which allows day-to-day operations to become more efficient. Funds provided by CBDG funding will be used specifically for procurement of smart meters and related technology, installation and integration cost, training staff on the new system, and initial operational support during the transition phase. The benefits of this project go beyond the operational enhancements. By improving efficiency and accuracy of water distribution, we aim to reduce operational costs, which could lead to more sustainable water rates, enhance emergency response capabilities, safeguard community health and customers' property, and promote environmental sustainability by minimizing water waste. We appreciate your consideration for supporting this project through allocation of block grant funding. Your endorsement will pave the way for LLCWD to embark on a transformational journey, setting the precedent for other districts and reinforcing our combined commitment to our community's well-being. We look forward to working with you on this project and future projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you want to pass that letter in to us, we'll make sure Supervisor Simon gets it.
Yep.
Thank you for that. Are there any other public comments regarding this item? I see no further movement in the chamber and no hands in Zoom. And so I'll bring it back to the board. Anything further before we take action?
Nope. Just look forward to working on these projects, and we appreciate CDS's support.
Brief question, what's the timeline for receiving the funds?
It says in the NOFA kind of late spring, but HCD is, Jeff's kind of chuckling, and kind of operates on their own time frame. So we have a date in the NOFA, that's May, but we'll see.
Doesn't always mean what it means.
As Ben says, that's our hope, that they have a hard time sticking with their schedules, but that's what we understand it to be.
Okay.
I do have just
Please.
some more brief comments. I want to thank Ben and the county staff. This cycle's been challenging, and I also want to thank the housing staff and community development staff for their assistance in providing information that we used and referred to in the build application because of the tie-in between that program and what the housing program folks are doing too. So thank you.
Thank you for your last comments. Supervisor Simon?
Yeah, just had a follow-up question for the Lower Lake Community Water District. Do you think this is a program that could go through CDBG? I want to make sure if there's going to be energy spent that we're pushing it in the right direction.
It would be eligible through the block grant program, CDBG program requirements. We did make an application. I'm not sure if you recall this some time ago, 3 years ago, I think. We made application on behalf of the district through the county for the loop system.
The intertie,
connect,
yes.
okay? And unfortunately, because there was a question on there's a couple of audit situations that HCD did not allow us to, they did not approve the application, but it wasn't because of an eligibility issue with the actual project itself and that district, that the district includes low, moderate household income above 51%, so the numbers there will work, and what I understand from the project, it would be eligible.
Okay.
I'm sure there's going to be other eligible projects coming up, and then the board would have to, of course, make a determination of what.
Well, I appreciate the conversation. Obviously, I think we have two in my district. Anderson Springs, I think, is dealing with the same issue, as far as metering. So talking with both, seeing it now in both, maybe there's something. Just want to make sure we have a good focus. I was looking at the State Water Resources Control Board too, see if there may be some opportunities there. But I'll follow up with you and see if we can continue the conversation and get it to the right place. So thank you. That was it.
Thank you very much.